Hi, my friends. So today I'm teaching you how to paint these really simple and loose watercolor lavender flowers. So stick around, guys. I'm excited. All right, I have my watercolor paper here. This is Academy paper, my dagger brush, and my paints, my water, all the things that we need. Now, I just absolutely love painting this kind of flowers because they're just so beautiful, so easy, and easy is very important here. We need to feel confident. When we're painting, sometimes we're feeling like we don't want so much of a challenge, but yet we want to walk away with something beautiful. So I have several purples here on my palette. Some I've mixed up and some are already mixed. Just for diversity, I want to make sure that I have some purple that has more of a pinkish tone to it, kind of reddish, has more red, and I want to have one that has more of a bluish tone to it, and even the blue is good as well. So this is pretty thick mixes of paint here, but you are going to definitely water them down and make them really nice and light and billowy and all the things. So I am making these little petal marks here, and I prefer to put the brush strokes down for the petals before adding stems. I feel like things look a lot more natural and organic if you start connecting things after the stem is there. If this bothers you or if it's kind of hard at first, go ahead and do a light sketch where you want things to go, or just put some stems down first and then add flowers, and that's completely fine also. So as you can see, I'm using different colors here. I'm also at some points after dipping into the paint and putting petals down, I'm then dipping my brush in water and wiping it off on the side so that we can lose a little bit of that color and it lightens it up just a tad. So you're seeing that variation in value. So we'll do another one over here, just leaning a little bit off to the right. And let's do another one here on the left. I'm just trying to create a balanced composition, and that can be done by making sure that, well, first of all, we don't have a bunch of flowers in this case hanging out on one side of the page, and then there's no flowers on the other side. But then also you want it to look natural. For me, I like the asymmetrical look as I'm mixing up my sap green here with my dagger brush, or use whatever brush you want. Added a little blue there, a little water, just making sure that I have my green to start connecting my stems. And so I like to have an asymmetrical look so it's not like there's matchy flowers on one side and the other. That can get really boring to the eye, and you just want to kind of change it up a little bit. But you do want it to be balanced to make sure that everything is kind of weighted very similarly. So really thin brush. If you don't have a dagger brush, use a number 2 round or a liner brush and just start connecting. Now I've got a liner here. I'm switching over with my lovely paint because I'm just going to take a really thin line and I'm going to connect every little blossom to my stem. I just think these are absolutely gorgeous to paint. Don't you just love this? And we'll add more things to this to make it a lot more fluffier and fuller, but just starting off with the 3 blooms is good, and they're at different levels too and different colors, so it makes it look interesting. The stems can be a little wonky, various lengths as well. So back to my dagger, added water to my brush, and I'm just going to start painting in some more clusters, getting tighter together and smaller as you get towards the tip of the cluster of flowers and of the spray, I don't know, the blooms. And let's go ahead and do a few more over here. So I wanted to talk to you guys about peace today. I'm curious, what brings you peace in your life? If you haven't been experiencing peace in a while, I encourage you to think about that. Peace can sometimes mean peace and quiet for some people. I was just thinking about introverts today. Peace can be an emotional peace where your heart is at rest and you're happy and content. You're not stressed and worried about the cares in your mind. Peace can be being alone in a place of solace with no one around, or with a lake to look at, or on a hike. Peace can be being with your favorite buddies or your family members. I'm just going to take a little bit more, some of the pinkish purple, some of the pink paint, some of the blue and the purple, and just start making this a bit more full with some more blossoms. I love doing this. I find this to be really relaxing and fun. We're just painting the same flower shape over and over versus worrying about a floral composition where you have various shapes and sizes that you have to kind of worry about. I've got a lot of blue in my green now. I just added it in, and we're just going to do these lovely thin leaves, just taking your dagger or round brush, little stem, and just pulling slightly to the left or right. We're going to curve it up or curve it to the side, little stem, and then just one C curve shape. And we're using these flowers and these leaves here to balance out our composition so that everything has kind of an equal weight on either side. And it's not like your eyes are getting heavy on one side of the paper. And that's how we can achieve a composition that looks fun, that looks attractive. We don't have to have all the flowers equally spread amongst the paper. We can just have it heavier to one side, which is asymmetrical, and then maybe more leaves can balance out on a different side, which can be a very good way to make a fun composition. So right now I'm adding in some tinier leaves and interspersing it between the florals that we put down. And I'm painting pretty quickly. If this is too fast for you, feel free to pause the video and seriously just go at your own pace. I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video, please hit like and subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification button, that bell, so that you know exactly when I have videos in the future. I'm just taking my liner brush here and connecting some more of those blooms we put in without stems. And you can just do that. You don't even have to, actually, if you don't want to, but I just thought it would be good to try to do. And also, I want to let you guys know that I teach watercolor on the platform called Patreon. So the link is in the description of this video, and it's a really fun place because I offer bonus content like art prints and live stream access. I even have exclusive, not seen anywhere tutorials for my Patreon subscribers. There's even an option for a private community as well. So definitely check that out if you're interested. I'm taking fresh water now, guys, and I'm just allowing it to touch the edges of the flowers. Some are drier, some are more wet. And it's going to just create a really nice soft edge for these flowers. And it lets a little bit of that paint spread out, which creates a really hazy look that I love. I think it's a very romantic look. You can use splatter to add magic to your painting, or you can just spread out some of that. I'm not doing a lot of spreading of the color because it's such a light composition. If you want to do more, you can, or you could even create a background with some other colors and just paint that in. So I hope that this is a composition that you have enjoyed, and I hope that you've been able to relax into it as well as we've been painting together. And I hope you also enjoy the cat in the background, who apparently she wants her voice to be heard as well. So there's that, if you do notice her meowing. She's quite vocal. So I'd love you to notice right now, you're in your composition, what do you like about your painting so far? Is there anything that you really appreciate? You like the colors or the way your flowers came out? I did allow this to dry, and now we're just going to add in a little bit more dark color. So I'm mixing up my purple again. I used a really bright pink and then a blue, and I do have purple in my palette. Sometimes I prefer just to mix up my own. I've got that lovely blue as well. And I want to darken up my florals. I've given it a chance for the paint to start to spread out and look really soft and billowy. And now I want to just add in some of that color again, more saturated paint. Since the blooms are not wet, you're gonna see them be the paint be a lot more rich and saturated, as well as I'm not adding as much water to my palette of purples so that I can get some rich color. So I think one of my favorite parts about painting flowers is that second layer, going in and adding some of that darker pigment, because it really allows those blooms to stand out. It gives them more of that 3D shape, and it adds in that interest as well. You're creating some shadowy parts, and you have the lighter parts as well, which looks like maybe that's where the light is hitting the flowers, and so they're lighter in color, or they appear lighter in color. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed painting this composition with me today. This was one of my favorites, and I hope it was fun and not overwhelming. See you on the next video.